Woo! All right, I just want to say welcome to Twisted Tea, your spot. You came in to check it out. We appreciate that. Where we got all that entertainment coming to you. And I know you clicked on this video because we are talking about the interview with Jada Pinkett Smith. And I say it like that because honestly, we don't even know if that's her real last name anymore. We don't know. Because in the interview, she revealed a few details that was like, boom! Mind blowing. Uh, so she did start. Let's start with she did struggle with depression. Some of those things that she was talking about in the interview, we will start with. Um, she was at a young age selling drugs. Hmm. Maybe some of that hand to hand stuff led to the depression. We won't get into that until later though. Let's wait for a second. Um, she did plan on committing suicide. Woo! So for those who didn't know, it was deep and dark at some point for that young lady. Deep and dark. Okay. Um, you know, on another note, she talked about how her and Will and their relationship was going, and the smack that everybody knows and heard about right through the industry. That was the one that happened with Will and Chris Rock. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. A little bit of Tupac talk in there. Ooh, juicy. All right. I mean, who's to say what really happened? It's not like he's here to say what he knows. Dun 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 dun. With that being said, we'll leave it alone and we'll come back to that shortly. Um, she talks about her table talk talks. Sure, she got a lot to say. As do I. As do I. I do want to throw this out there though. So if you end up on any of the episodes that we put out, any other episodes that we put out here for Twisted Tea, where we're just bringing you some of that news with a twist. You dig? You did it to yourself. All right, I'm just gonna come out and tell you, you did it to yourself. Don't hit me up talking about what, blah, blah, blah. You did it to yourself. All right, I'm bringing it to you with a twist, and you did it to yourself. So you know, let's see. In question, I'm gonna be honest. With that interview, I thought the interview went pretty well as far as some of the things they got into, some of the topics that they talked about. That was pretty cool. Um, but let's take that deep dive off the diving board and get into this, okay? Now, struggling with depression, we all know that is serious stuff, and I will say that you know, that part right there, well, that's the sad part. Now, what I will say to that is, on the other hand, in the flip side, for those of you who do struggle with depression, you know, um, there's a few things that you could try to do. Like a lot of it, honestly, in a messy form of it, is changing the reality of how we choose to think and see what we choose to see. Because the way that we thought kind of puts you in the placement of what it is. But again, you didn't come here to seek that advice, so I'm not even gonna give it to you. We're going right into the Jada's advice. I think that her depression stems from, you know, the young age of all the drugs and the selling of the drugs and the doing of the drugs. Because, not for nothing, we know she was doing drugs. She was like the Hollywood kingpin. All right? They ain't going to come out and be like, yeah, Jada gave it to me. Jada did it. Jada told me if I take this, I'm going to feel better. But Jada was passing them out, skittle popping. Bow, 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 bow. Okay? Well, she was doing it daily. And she admits she was doing stuff daily. So obviously, it's going to affect your mental. It's going to affect how you feel. It's going to affect the things you choose to do. That's just a part of life. That's kind of how it works. These things, you know, they go hand in hand. It's like you get drunk, you're gonna feel a certain way, right? You do drugs, you gonna feel a certain way. Duh. So, you know, and she wants to go back to go, oh, well, my childhood, it stems on my childhood because of all the stuff that, I was selling then and this and that. And I had heard the stories. I heard the chitter chatter through Hollywood. They was like, yeah, shit, Jada hit the party and they knew to hit her purse because it was the one. All right? She had the connects. Okay? Somebody missed out. Somebody lucked up, by the way. Um, I'm not condoning it. Just saying. All right? Throw that out there. Just saying. So, with that though, it's obviously going to lead to more. So, I feel like looking at it again, this is my opinion, my personal opinion on the matter. Take it how you want it. Is that a lot of that led to a lot of the stuff that goes on in, around, and with her life. With that being said, you know, what can we say to that? We can say like maybe she should have fixed that stuff a long time ago. I'm sure they got all types of outpatient things that she could have did. Not like she didn't have the money to do these things or take part in those things. Um, I think some of the most craziest part to this would be like the smack when you found out that Will smacked Chris, and then we found out through the interview that these two weren't even together. Hello, hello. And yeah, Chris didn't press charges, but hello, they ain't even together. And he out here yelling. We seen it. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Right? Yeah, they tried to bleep it out, but we caught it all. We caught it all. Good look into that Australian network that had that going. Pew, pew. No breaks. Only in the United States. Ha ha. But they ain't even been together for years. They weren't together for years prior to that. And that means that these two actors, okay, have been acting. These two actors have been acting and keeping it an act for you. That's messy. That's messy. When you go to say, well, who they acting for? Why they gotta keep their stuff together for us? They could have just broke up. I mean, because now it's like, we seen what's going on with the kids. We seen what's going on with the kids. So now it's like, okay, y'all are keeping an act together. So, how are the kids supposed to see how relationships work? If y'all are acting through your relationship, because we know, Jada, you ain't never stopped losing feelings for Pop. Okay? Just throwing it out there again, just what I think. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Um, you know, at one point the lady even started a heavy metal rock band. Okay? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with rock bands. There's some good rock bands out there. But I'm just saying that Jada decided to start a heavy metal rock band, and nobody sat there and questioned that something was. Nobody said, "Well, scratchy. What is going on here?" Where this lady who's been doing pretty well for herself and had some really good roles. She did really well for herself, and went to go do a rock band. Yeah, I know you can do whatever you want, but I'm gonna question the psychic of that. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, can we sit down and talk? Is there something wrong? Is there something that you need to talk about? Is there something we need to discuss? Because where did this one come from? This is a little left field. A little left field. Um, you know, it's crazy. So if they weren't together, they said that cheating rumors and everything that were going on, as she said, and I quote, cheating felt too good. That's what she said. Watch the interview. And it's messy. That's messy because Most people cheat, not condoning it again. Most people cheat because they feel like they're getting something from someone else that they're not receiving in the same relationship. But if they weren't together, then it wasn't considered cheating. But the way that it was put out there, it's like, so you two just wanted to stay in the media so that other people could see this, portray it in the way that it was, talk about it in the manner that it is, so that you guys got these big roles and these other things that are coming up to keep you there. Messy. Messy. No. I mean, Will Smith, in a sense, it's like, come on, Will. Come on, Will. I gotta say it again. Come on, Will. You better than that. You know better. You smarter than that. You know? How come none of his stuff done hit the air? It's none of his infidelities ain't pop up. Did he have any? Or was he still just sitting there thinking, Jada, Jada, Jada? Hmm? Hmm? Good question, right? Yeah. You know, um, gotta ask that. So it she went looking for the young thing in August Esteem. Okay, and she might have felt a little bit of vibes from like the old young pop thing in there, like, ooh, this young thing, making her feel like Stella got her groove back. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, and for those of you who don't, well, look it up. You'll get there. So you know, not saying that Jada look good. I don't really Jada's always looked good, So I mean, I get why August jumped in there. He jumped in his entanglement, as they like to call it, which Will and Jada decided to discuss that on some red table talk stuff too. Pretty interesting. Also think that that was a little staged and planned out too, considering how now all of this stuff just happens to be coming out the way it's coming out. And I'm like, what else did they happen to have staged and planned and yada yada yitty? Somebody let me know, cause I'd like to know. Cause I'm trying to give you the twisted tea, so I need to know what else they had planned and staged. Because I was watching this interview and go, well, this is getting quite interesting. Hmm. Um, so basically it's like you mean to tell me that they were living two separate lives and didn't say anything. That's kind of crazy. Like that's no two separate lives in the world. Like, how did TMZ not catch this? Who got paid at TMZ that was like, you better not talk about this. You better not talk about this. Don't you dare tell them we out here, two houses, two lives. It's like, come on now. TMZ ain't get the juice. And not for nothing, we know they always in the camera. We see Will in the camera all the time. He's still filming and stuff. And you mean it like they still things different are happening. You mean to tell me TMZ ain't get the juice? How TMZ ain't get the juice? Hmm? I really want to know how TMZ didn't get the juice. Okay? They dropped the ball. All right? That's ridiculous. Okay? Gotta throw my hands up on that. What it comes down to is these two are really good actors. I mean, they really good actors, and then I question were they acting even in their relationship the whole time. Jada, did you really love Will? We still have feelings for each other, you know. I just wanted to say, like, I truly feel for Will. Do you? Do you really feel for Will, though? Because you done ran him through the ringer, wrung him out, put him up to dry, and burnt him. Burnt him. To the point where you saw all of that extra emotion come out that he took it out on the wrong person. And that was probably because he was sitting in there like this, just shaking. Oh, Jada. Some of these days. Because, he probably truly does love and still have feelings for you. Other than just because you guys got kids. He probably wasn't acting, Jada. He probably wasn't acting. Okay? And if he was, then I'm telling you, the man's a good actor. He's done great roles. Um, so looking at that, uh, that Chris Rock smack, the comments, it's like, man, that's my wife. That's my wife, is what he's yelling. Keep my wife's name. And even Jada had to turn because she was high at the time, sitting in the audience on some good shit, talking about what did they just give me? Will, did you just do that? Will, did you just do that? Huh. She felt good. I'm sure she felt really good. You know, when she got the call, Will called her talking about, come support me over here for this Oscar award winning day. Come support me. I need you to come support me. And she was like, I'll always support you, Will. Just make sure you bring a bag of mushrooms. And he's like, I got you, even though you the plug. It's wild out there. So, learning about that now, which it's been years later to find out that all of that was what it was, and that even like 3, 4 years prior to that, it's been a thing where they wasn't what they was. Definitely puts up some red flags and question marks. Is definitely in question. I mean, you know, hearing her life story, which let's be honest, Jada's life stories have been out there. She's been putting it out there the last few years. She's been dropping a little bam, 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 dropping little things off so people can pick them up. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to choose to pick them up and pay attention to it. I mean, I think the more messier part is through all of this, like the kids, the kids. And we've watched them go through their transformations and different things that they're choosing to do and have done and have to have done. But ain't nobody sat down and been like, hey, let's talk about this. How do you feel about this? What's going on through it? Um, you know, we know Jaden a little sensitive. Uh, we know that. I mean, he got mad at them talking about his little skinny bone pictures. Don't you be talking about my little skinny bone pictures because you know I'm a muscle man now. I done milk muscled up, and now my skinny pictures is all y'all want to talk about. It's not fair because my skinny bones isn't it. I'm a muscle man now. You got plenty of time to get muscly, baby. Get in there. Do what you do. Let them make fun of you. It is what it is. It's just like the parents. You're going to keep your name in the media, so what? Next time they'll go see you in a different movie. You know? And then you got Willow. Okay? You got Willow, and it's like she's admitting that she's having trouble finding love in certain things in relationships. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. Messed up? Probably. Surprised? Not at all. Because, again, let's like your role models were actors who are acting out in a relationship. So the people that you're seeing in front of you aren't even doing the things they should be doing to keep this afloat. So I got to ask it and go, well, man, if that is the case, what, why, and how do you expect to find what you're looking for throughout this? Because it's just not gonna be a thing. It won't work in the same manner. I wish you the best with it. I do. Plenty of people out there, but it's not gonna be what you expect it to be because Willow, honestly, you're gonna have to start questioning certain things that have to do with them, then you, and then see how all of that's portrayed and put out. You know, just don't take the same path as your mom. Don't turn to the drugs. Don't turn to all the extra stuff to try and change out what you may or may not feel throughout this process because that's gonna be a little bit more messy. And with this, I'm like Jada, I'm starting to question other things. I'm gonna take it there. I'm gonna take it there. Okay, your parenting. I'm taking it there. All right, don't question me because again, you at one point you had a set out plan committed to commit to for suicide, and again, I'm not condoning that because I'm not. Suicide's not cool. Far from it. All right. It affects a lot of people, a lot more people than yourself. And selfishly enough, you was over there just planning out a whole event. You know, not thinking about the kids, not thinking about well, and you might be like, yeah, well, I thought about him after, when it started, and I thought about coming to it. I was like, oh, the kids and Will. But like for months, if you planning the event, you ain't think about them in advance. Hello, hello, somebody's calling. Pick up. All right, because it's like we, what's going on? Sing that song. What's going on? You know. And again, you're gonna tell us it was depression, and I'm gonna tell you it was drugs because that's kind of what it leads to. You know, see it all the time in some of those communities, and not for nothing, Jade. I think in some of the communities that you was partaking in. So you probably had certain things around you where you could have been like, all right, this ain't it. But you chose to do others. And it is what it is. No, it is what it is. But I just got to bring it to you with a twist. Okay? Over here on Twisted Tea. Now, with that being said, I wish them the best. I do. Will they be back in the media? Yep. Will they stay in the media? Yep. Is it a cause for concern? Nah. See that shoulder shrug? That's because it's not a cause for concern. You know why? Because they good. They know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing. They playing the manipulation game. They know what they doing. No. It's a little messy. And on other news, which we gonna bring you different topics, different things that may not have occurred, but in other news and other forms of entertainment, let's see. Let's see what else has popped up in the entertainment world for today. Because you know what? It's always something good. There's always something juicy. You know what I mean? They were just talking about Ben Affleck going to McDonald's with J Lo 3 times a week. I'm like, man, I know you did the little thing and little commercials and all of that stuff. Uh, but 3 times a week? You over there 3 times a week? Man, what you eating? What are you eating? I need to know. Because 3 times a week, man, you got to be eating real good. Real good. If that's the case, or real bad, okay? Real bad. J-Lo sitting in the passenger side talking about, you got to be kidding me. Again, Ben? Again? You've been hanging with your ex. And now they're taking me through the drive-thru of McDonald's. Again, Ben? And Sammy Davis was just they were just talking about how Tommy Davis was just talking about, excuse me, Sammy, Tommy, Davis was just talking about how they used to chill on the set for In Living Color, and that she was like, after she was a showgirl. For those who don't know how she started, she was a dancer. All right, and I'm sure that you probably followed and heard about J Lo to know that J Lo was a dancer. Oh, Donna did it, bow, 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 bow. Okay, that was how she got it. She started as a dancer. Okay, on one of the Wayans Brothers shows that they had going for In Living Color, and then other things started to happen after that. Okay, I'm sure the girl from the Bronx put herself in some of the right places to make some things happen. And I'm sure that the show had some of that to do with it too. They saw the moves. And it's always interesting when when you would hang out with somebody and then they changed once they started to get their little fame and stardom. She stiff on them. Now I don't know obviously, if he was over there talking about, hey, J-Lo, let me get the panties, I don't know. Or if he was just trying to or if he was just a friend, you know, I don't know. And if it was the case of him over there talking about, hey, J-Lo, let me get the panties, then if she stiff armed him, I could be like, well, you should have stuck to the friend role. But who am I? Again, we don't know. I don't know. But what we do know is she did stiff arm him. She hit him with it. That's where it came from. That whole in your face, out my face. J Lo started that in your face, out my face. Right there, and then she was like, in living color. Um, so it's messy, and we all know, that she tries to do, she does her little diets and keeps up with herself and has a strict thing, and that now her and Ben, which I think this is their second time. Okay, this is their second time. Might even be their third. She all over the place, but this might even be the third. All right, and he unhappy because he pulling up at that drive-through. You see him pull up at the drive-through. Just let me get the Big Mac. I know. I'll take it extra large this time. Give it to me. She's pissing me off again. She keep talking about my ex. So messy. But you know what? Entertaining nonetheless. So with that being said, entertaining nonetheless. Um, on other related news, for those of you who may or may not know, which I'm sure you have because it's been all over the news. All right. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Or should I say Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So the other day, the reports are that they caught Travis Kelce leaving Taylor Swift's New York pad. Juicy. Because prior to this, we ain't caught them in and out of houses. But you know who we didn't catch? We ain't catch Taylor there. So who's to say she was there? And where her popping and disappearing acts? Okay. Who's to say she was there? Popping out of popcorn machines and stuff to get out of these arenas. Hey, I ain't mad at her. It's smart. It's smart. All right. Because she got enough fans where they like the Swifties, I think they call them the Swifties. They gonna track her down. Okay. And give her the business. What? What is this? What is this? Uh, so, you know, in that related event, we're gonna catch her at more games. Hopefully Travis just continues to do his thing, which he should. He's a premier athlete, ball player. He should do his thing. Um, the other day he got to watch his brother lose his game against the Jets. Interestingly enough. And then that's what he went to do. And I ain't see Taylor there. Taylor wasn't there. She was not with him for that loss to watch that brother lose. But is what it is, right? It's part of the game. It is part of the game. Um, apparently, they also Travis Kelce reportedly told Taylor Swift security, can't get the words out. They could step aside. I'll take it from here, because he's the man. He's the man. You know what I mean? And believe me, they didn't step too far. I'm sure they didn't step too far from the side. They were still there. I'm sure. Them binoculars talk about where she at. Got her. Tenfold. There she goes. Don't let her out of our sights. Chirp, chirp. I think that this is going to be real interesting to see what happens throughout their relationship. I think at the end of the NFL season, this will probably be a breakup. Her song for it is probably already ready. Okay? Wouldn't surprise me if she's already has that ready, locked and loaded. Boop, put it out there for you to see it shortly. It's going to be entertaining when all of that hits the fans too. And guess what? I'll be here to let you know what took place. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because the both of them. I mean, like Taylor got a breakup history, and Travis Well, we've only known him to be with that one girl. You see that silence because nobody knows that girl's name. But we do know that that was it. That one girl. Um, let's see. And other news. What else can we bring to you today? Let's see. Oh, I guess this just in. This just in. Will Smith praised as the letter he wrote to Jada in a response to her bombshells. News is revealed. Um, so he's been praised for this letter, and it's interesting because you know what? I'm gonna have to call somebody to get that letter. I need to see what the letter looking like throughout this. Um, you know, because like I said earlier, he's done went through a lot with her. He's done went through a lot with her, and you know, all of those red carpet events that they weren't together, all the other events that these two showed up at, I had to go back. I had to go back to it because I couldn't let this go. I just couldn't let all of the events that these two went to together and was like acting on us. I'm fuming a little bit on the inside. I'm like, man, y'all tricked the world. You tricked the world. I got to flip through the notes. Y'all tricked the world into believing that this was a thing. So sad, too bad. And the news comes out. So, when we get a hold of that letter, we're going to find a way to get a hold of that letter and see what that letter says. That way we can bring it to you here on Twisted Tea. Listen, while you're here, you know what I mean? You might as well hit those buttons. You know the ones. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. Any comment. That way I can leave you one back. Ta-da! Here on Twisted Tea. Let's see. Flip and throw it. Oh, man. They got a lot of unneeded news. What? Obviously, the top news is some stuff we ain't even gonna get into. Top news is all about the war. We gonna leave those things alone. That's not what we bringing. No. And in sports news, you had a whole lot of injuries this week. It got messy again. What I find to be messy is that the whole running back category for the NFL, it's a little odd because these NFL running backs who were fighting for contracts are now just fighting to stay on the field. Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb's knee popped out. That was messy. Those are just three big name athletes who would have big, big contracts and can't stay on the field. Do you think that, like, I gotta look around because somebody might be listening. I gotta make sure that they not. Do you think that this could be like how the time where the New Orleans got caught up in their scandal for going out and targeting players, where the NFL was like, just put a green light on running backs, light them up? Interesting, right? Let me know. Thoughts in the comments. Because it's been a mess. It has been a mess. And I mean, they do a really good job of not telling her, not really getting into all of that because Taylor Swift's all inside the NFL with her Swifties. So while y'all watching the game, feel free to pay attention to some of the other stuff that could be there. We got Gigi and Bradley Cooper, reportedly staying at one of Taylor Swift's Rhode Island homes. You see what I mean? So how do we know that Travis Kelce didn't just happen to stay at Taylor Swift's New York apartment. Hmm. Okay. Says that that rumored couple was enjoying some of their casual romantic nights, which I'm sure they was at one of Taylor Swift's places. Like that would make some sense. Uh, Listening to some old tunes of folklore. Who knows what they were doing? Who really cares? My whole thing behind that one is just that Travis Kelce was partying at Taylor's house and she ain't even had to be there because it just, like I said, these two were just there. And psh, Taylor didn't show up. Then go, let's chill. Okay. Um. So I don't know, man. I would like to hear more of Chris Rock's comments since all of this has came out. But I'm sure he's gonna just skip out on that because he was told to keep somebody's name out his bleeping mouth. Keep the name out your mouth. And with that being said, I'm sure that he's gonna be like, all right, well, since that is the case, let me just stop. Now, for those who don't know, some of the comments that Chris Rock made, I ain't even gonna lie, they were funny. Like those jokes were funny. All right, it ain't his fault. He a comedian. That's naturally what he does. Is tell jokes. That's what he does. Tells jokes. And like I said, here on Twisted Tea, if you ain't want to get twisted in the tea, keep it out the media. Okay? And on that note, they put it in the media, so they got what they got. They got what we expected to happen. Is what it is. Is what it is. Um, what else is there? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has reportedly started to fix some of the relationships with all of his children except for one who doesn't want to be bothered. Hit him with the stiff arm. Two, that one J Lo'd him. Get it? Stiff armed. Uh, that's cool. Because they got a lot of kids that they've brought not into the world, but they took care of. They're taken care of, and that's a plus because again, there's a lot of people out there that are in need, and it was cool for them to have it and actually go out their way to make things happen for others. So you know what, Brad, good stuff. Keep doing what you do. Um, you know, just stay focused on it. The other ones will come around, and that will be what it is. They'll come around, or and life will do what it needs to do. Uh, Going back to Ben Affleck real quick. Going back to Ben Affleck real quick. Jump into this one. We know he's stressed out. We know he's stressed out. Okay? I think that Ben need to call Jada, okay, and ask her for some of that stuff. Yo, Jada, what you got in the bag? Because J Lo is getting on my nerves. And I mean, I'm stressed out because J Lo getting on my nerves. I've been busting down these McDonald burgers with no problem, and like, what do I do now? So you are gonna find more and more Ben Affleck problems popping up as the days go on. Okay, unless he working his way into a role, another McDonald's role, which is why he keep popping them burgers. Or or J Lo don't cook. Not that they can't hire a private chef, but clearly J Lo don't cook. I'm not the cooking type. Ben, I'm not. You knew that, Ben. You knew it, Ben. Okay, I've never been the cooking type, Ben. All right, and you know that. So don't act like you didn't know it before, Ben. Okay? Why should I cook when I can hire a maid and someone to do it, Ben? Okay, you want to cook? Go get Gigi. Okay? You'll get your ex and you tell her to cook it up. All right? And we can cook for the both of us, Ben. Uh, we'll see how all that goes again as we move on. Let's see. So you also know that whole Kanye thing, which we ain't gonna get into today, but I'll bring it up on another day. But Kanye got remarried to Bianca. You know, Petey Pete, he's still peeking around corners, sneak peeking, trying. Kim, where are you? Kim, where are you? Kanye told me no, but Kim, where are you? So you know he feeling, he feels some type of way. Um, he's like, I mean, have you seen PDP picture? Look like he's been chilling with Jada too. Okay, Jada been sliding him the goods. PDP here, take this. Okay, don't tell nobody. Right before SNL, he over there like, okay, you can find some pictures of him. You be like, man, PDP, you don't look so good. You don't look so good. Are you okay, PDP? He can't be good. He can't be good. You know, there's all types of mess going on. So in unrelated news to everything, there is a lot going on. Um, a lot going on. Did you all hear? Okay, in case you didn't, that Courtney's ex-husband, for the Courtney Kardashian ex-husband, okay, who've we've watched this man go through it. He Scott has had good days and really bad days and good days and really bad days. Okay, so Scott, but Scott's recent comments is probably gonna have him go through some more interesting days, unless he's just trying to keep himself in the media like the rest of them. So Scott goes in recent news. I'd like to tap that. And he's talking about a different sister. Hmm. Hmm. So he was in the house the whole time looking at him like, ooh, one day and another. If they slip up, I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you. Okay? It's interesting because Scott and Courtney got kids. And it's been a long time coming. And obviously, Courtney had to push Scott to the side, and now she's dealing with, I think it's Travis Barker. Um, you know, Honestly, I think all of three of those sisters, they like, well, we just need to keep these entertainers on wraps. Okay. Uh, who's next? So, it's a little messy. I will say that it's always a mess watching they show. Okay, because if they ain't crying, they overjoy us for some extra crap that we were like, well, duh, we seen this coming. Um, so the funny part to that was like Kanye added a twist to their life because he always mixed things up. He's like, let me mix and mingle some of this stuff. We ain't just gonna let you see it coming. I'm gonna throw it to you sideways. So you know that's gonna be interesting to keep up with. I wonder if Scott is actually gonna get his wish. I mean, because sometimes these sisters just be throwing it out there. They just giving it out. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Who's next? Here you go. So Scott might get his wish. Scott might not get his wish. But we gonna find out one day now, won't we? Or will we not? Okay, it might come out like one of the tapes. This was a lost episode, part 3. Hmm. What do I know? I'm just here to bring you the news. I'm just here to bring it to you with a twist. Okay. Um. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. So, speaking of them, let's see. Today on People's Magazine, we have Courtney calls the chance to raise a baby with the husband Travis Barker. It's a dream come true. Because it definitely was more like a nightmare doing it with Scott, apparently. Again, what do I know? You just broadcasted it to the world. And every time y'all put Scott on TV, it made him look real. He didn't get the best light. So, again, what do I know? I don't know. I'm just here to bring it to you the way I see it. I see it with weird filters and stuff. It's like somebody else is telling me to tell you. I gotta say it. Talking about I love creating experiences, tradition, and memories, making them every day, and it's so memorable. Okay, I haven't even seen what the other kid looked like now, and I know the one between her and Scott. I haven't even seen how many kids does this girl have now? Oh man, so Penelope. Whoa, they got. I mean, between the both of them, these two got a lot of kids. Look, between the both of them, okay. Travis brought in his own little crew, own little gangbangers and stuff. All right, and now between the both of them, it looks like they got 7 kids, 8 kids. They got a basketball starting lineup. All right, a basketball starting lineup. It looks like, and I guess the oldest one is what 20. The oldest one's 24. All right, Travis, you got a 24-year-old. How old are you, Travis? I know. But they got Penelope, Ryans. I don't know if it's pronounced right. We know Mason was there. He always Mason Dash. He always been there. Okay. And then Barker got 3 himself. Man, a starting basketball team for these two. This is gonna be so interesting. Now she out here showing baby pictures and baby belly pictures in bikinis. Like the world cares. Hate to be that guy, but Courtney, they don't care. They don't care. All right? They don't care. Just want to let you know. Okay? We're going to keep it moving. We're going to KIM it. Because we here to keep it moving. All right? Let's see. I mean, between me and y'all, I think they trying to catch up to Nick Cannon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they trying to catch up to Nick Cannon. And I'll be honest, you ain't catching Nick Cannon. You ain't catching him. Okay? Because Nick, right when you think you getting ahead, he gonna drop another one. He gonna be like, ooh, come here, girl. Come here. Touch. Boop. There's another baby. That's how fast Nick Cannon working these days. I ain't mad at him, no. I ain't mad at him. He can support him. He can have fun with it. He gonna keep dropping. Okay? In other related news, let's see what else we got going on today. I'm gonna bring you more shortly. But here's what we will say. All right? Appreciate the time. We appreciate y'all coming through, checking out the channel, having good times. Here on Twisted Tea, what we're gonna do is like I said, we're bringing you the news with a twist. Yeah, I had to pause because there's helicopters flying. They flying. They looking. All right. They probably know we in here filming, and they like, yo, what's he talking about? Let's get the scoop before he drops this video. We need to know what he talking about before he dropped the video. He always the inside source. Shh. Don't tell him no. All right, let me do it. So we'll be bringing you news, Sometimes it'll be chopped up and screwed like the old music in the South. Sometimes it'll be on hip hop. Sometimes it'll be on entertainment. Sometimes it'll be on sports. But like I said, it's news with a twist. So feel free to hit those buttons. You know the buttons. If you don't know the buttons, I'm going to tell you the buttons. Okay? LIKE. That's like. There's a button. Boop! On the bottom. You know where it is. And then subscribe. I'm not even going to spell it out for you. Everybody says it. So press it. Like, subscribe, and what's that last part? Oh, yeah. Leave a comment. You comment to me, I comment to you, and we go back. You know, we do what comments do, and we appreciate that. You know, if you have a question on this Jada story and you didn't get to catch it, feel free to ask. Okay. If you have a question on that Ben Affleck story, don't worry. Don't. You ain't gotta ask. All right. Just know that you can catch him at a McDonald's locally, uh, close to where he lives. Where he lives, probably somewhere in New York. Who knows? I'll check for you. They probably got a few houses too. But if you just follow, he'll be at a McDonald's drive-thru probably near you in the near future. Because I think his job, I think he taste testing all of them. He's gonna be the new consistency taste tester for McDonald's. That's right. You heard it here first. That Ben Affleck is the new consistency taste tester for McDonald's. Okay? He's like, well, I want to advocate for the burger. All right. I gotta advocate. And he said he's not even gonna try those drive-thrus that are all electronic. You know, those new ones that they got going on with the all machine operating ones. He's like, I need a personal feel. Okay? And if you don't catch him at McDonald's, you know where else you can catch him? Dunkin' Donuts. All right? You can catch him at Dunkin' D&D's, at Dunkin' Donuts, getting him a Boston cream, okay, and a coffee with 2 sugars and some oat milk. All right? Not knocking it. Just saying. That's what you can catch him doing. All right? I'm sorry. News just in. Sexy Red reveals pregnant with help. I don't even think it's possible for that girl. I don't know. Look, okay. It must have been off the sex tape that she put out. It must have been off the sex tape she put out. Okay. We didn't see where it got left. So clearly, it was left. Honestly, if you ask me, this is just another ploy to keep her in the media because we all know the music is trash. I said it. I don't mind saying it. Okay? The music is trash. Alright? Alright, it's trash. My booty booty doo doo Judy button doo my doom doom. Trash. Super trash. Okay? That's what I hear. That's what I hear, okay? Sound like somebody just on the mic. Trash. Anyway, call it how you want, you know? They do have other female artists with lyrics that are like lyrical. I can't say the same for her. So I think this is just a ploy to keep you going and keep you in the media. You know what I mean? It wasn't a baby bump. That's the alcohol. Okay, if the girl stopped drinking and swinging by Popeyes and what else they was on that last video, you know, we wouldn't. You know, this is just a ploy. Okay, that's all this is. They think they slick. Don't worry. Pretty soon they're gonna tell us more. All right, they're gonna tell us more. Took to IG to tell us she pregnant. Cool. Right. Did she tell you who the pregnancy was? She pregnant ASF. That poor child. Okay? That poor child that hasn't even, that poor child. Oh, I feel bad for that child already. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel bad for that child already. Um, mm-mm-mm. Go sit down and figure this one out. They're gonna come in and take this child. Okay, looking like Young Thug. Unbelievable. Uh, Listen, we running up on our time shortly here. I do appreciate you sticking with us and sticking it out. I'm just so torn and mind blown on that last one though. Boy, that poor child. Hopefully hopefully the baby daddy doesn't listen to her music to know what he got himself into. Um, and you know, can find a way. Can find a way. I'm over here about to shut it to it, boy, man. This is so bad. This is so bad. This is not helping the industry. Okay? But you know what though? She was out there in Miami looking for a baby daddy. Apparently, they found that. With all the wretched hoochie doochies. Um, in the meantime, in between time, listen, I hope that you all stay healthy. Keep your mind together. Like we had talked about earlier, depression is a big thing. Keep your mind set on the focus of what you need to do with your life. If you do have problems that you'd like to talk about, there are places and outlets and different things to go so you can help for. Um, you can send me a message. I'll send you what I think back is best to send you. They say my advice is interesting. And I say that because it is very interesting and it does come with a little bit of comedy. So just keep that in mind when you send me them comments. Because if I comment back, you like, man, got him. It's not me. It's not me. All right. Last but not least, on a quick side note, Jimmy G. For those of you who don't know, he plays football. Okay, he played for the Patriots. Got sent to the 49ers. Now he plays for the Raiders. Jimmy G can't stay on the field. Okay? I wish him the best. He's injured again. I don't think he's played one full season. I don't understand the contracts because again, he ain't gonna stay on the field. But I do wish him the best in his recovery. I hope it's a speedy one, due to the fact that I need him to start throwing some time. I need him to get back on the field. Okay, I don't know what this rookie, the new cat they gonna have in here doing. I don't know. But I need my fantasy points for Jacoby Myers to keep going. That's what I know. All right, I don't need y'all handing the ball off to Jacobs. I need you throwing the ball to Jacoby. All right. Looks like they trying to break Jacobs too with all the time they giving him the ball. Wipe a little sweat off on that one. Oh. Let's see. Oh. Ooh. So 50 did comment on Jada selling drugs. And you know what? We'll talk about that real fast. As we know, 50 Cent grew up selling drugs, but could he have been giving it to her? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Could 50 have been giving it to her? Did we just Did we just figure some stuff out? Did we just figure out some stuff? That's right. And we shall catch y'all on the next episode. Feel free to tune in. Feel free to hit them buttons. I think it's like, I know it's subscribe. And it's definitely leaving comments to your boy, Mr. 365. That's me, Mr. 365. Here on Twisted Tea, where we like to bring you the news with a twist and all the tea that seems to be what it is. On that note, we're out. Y'all have yourself a good day. And make sure you tune into the next episode where I'm going to twist it up. Add a little sprinkle to that. Dust that off the shoulder. Bye, yeah. Oh, yeah.